one. The curtains. Was eyes. Starting out over. There it is. Let's share it. Good morning. Thank you for sharing. Hope everybody had a good weekend. It's a good weekend. Good weekend. Good weekend. Did my best. Try to figure out how to live on less murderous money. Try to make as much money as you can. Try to figure out how to be stronger and live on less money. Money makes you weak. Money weight makes you weak. It's just the control. Why I got in trouble this week? Y'all see that? Oh, just to kind of explain what I'm talking about. Make money. Figure out how to live on less money. Money is a catalyst. It's a means of making you a dependent on people you do not want to be dependent upon. It's how they broke the world. But that's what I do. I try to make money and I try to figure out how to live on less. So I'm less abusive to people. Good morning, please. Time's going. But I got in trouble this week. I have these thoughts I post on, and people proceed to give me their thoughts and emotions. Good morning. Who's that? Good morning, Barbie. Good morning, Lori. Good morning, Abby. Let me see the comments that come out with the comments. Good morning, Brother John. Happy days. Happy days today. Oh, there we go. There it comes. I want to talk about step one. I posted something. Got everybody outraged, discombobulated, mad at me. I don't want people to be mad. I just want you to think. Just think. Good morning, Carolyn. Good morning, Nikki. Good morning, Kristen. What did I post? I think I posted something. Somebody. Y'all get me in trouble with these memes. Hang on. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Someone posted a meme. I'll bring it up. They look at it. I've been all kind of trouble. And for whatever reason, Facebook, because they hide most of your posts from people who don't want to see them, they showed it to some other friends who got used to the whole back on the 2020 train. And it said something to the effect of me waiting. It was like a skeleton. It said me waiting for y'all to realize your presidents don't matter. Oh man, they came for me. No, I didn't get it. Because I don't take it seriously. I don't take the outrage seriously at all. Let me try to find this picture for you. Where is this background? Because a lot of people still believe in odds. Stay calm. There's a wizard behind that, you know what I'm going to download this. Put it on the screen. A lot of people still believe. They're still fighting the holograms. They're still fighting in front of the curtain. Fighting the hologram. Stop believing in the holograms. Stop believing in the holograms. Please consider that we have an oligarch infestation on this planet, and they don't really give two damns about who your president is. It means absolutely nothing. Nothing. They all do the same exact thing. Man, so I had all kind of trouble. Oh, they was calling me all out the name and stuff. We gotta get rid of Trump. We gotta get rid of. And I don't believe people. I don't believe. I'm not in that world. I don't live in Oz. I don't believe in Oz. I see an oligarchy. The whole point was, I guess, well, first let me show you a picture. Let me show you the meme. These memes are so important. They just bring out so much outrage. And it's so important. Here it goes right here. Check this out. I posted this. Oh man, I got called all kind of names and stuff. Y'all see this is me waiting for people to realize president. It doesn't matter who the president is. It does not matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. You can vote all you want. You can vote till you're blue in the face. You can just keep voting, keep cheering, just keep running the wizard's errands. Y'all remember the Wizard of Oz? That the wizard has errands for you to run, the hologram. Just stop running their errands. And voting is an errand. I hate to say it. You put on their avatars, you get out there, and you do everything to keep them in power. The oligarchy, the true power in this world. Good morning, everybody. So I got in all kind of trouble. In one of the comments, one of the brothers said, "What is your plan? Do nothing." And sometimes I can be condescending. I don't mean to. Okay, maybe a little bit, maybe a little bit. I said, yeah, actually that is the plan. The plan is to stop running errands for the wizard. Has everybody seen the Wizard of Oz? Please tell me you've seen the Wizard of Oz. Step 1, pull back the curtain. Pull back the curtain, pull back the curtain. Step 1 is not go run more errands for the wizard. Don't do that. Hang on, I got a post I didn't make. Follow the money, the most effective strategy, which is why the big money media tweaks the emotions. That's actually kind of deep. I don't know who put that in my head. That's kind of deep. Follow the money, follow the money, follow the money. Don't follow the hologram. Follow the money, follow the money, follow the money. Everybody knows this. Empirically proven, you follow the money, you'll get to the goodies. You can't solve a problem until you find out who's making the money. The presidents are not making the money. They're not making the money. They're not making the money. Not Congress, not any of them. They're just sellouts. They just sell you out on emotion. All right, let me see. Comments here. So I posted that. So what the brother said? He said, so what is your strategy to do nothing? And first of all, I said, it's not my strategy. Do I look that smart to you? Do I look that smart to you? Man, I believe in aliens and UFOs. And UFOs in the news, man. We might talk about that a little bit. But I said, do I look that? No, this is Plato, Chris Hedges, even Noam Chomsky, people who are very, very up on these things. Peter Joseph, Jacques Fresco, greatest minds of our time tell you, if you continue to support your oligarch, you continue to support corporate rule, really bad things are going to happen. So I don't care who the president is. I honestly don't care. So the strategy is to do nothing. Yes, do nothing. Remove the curtain. Do nothing. Explain to people the real problems in this country and in the world. The fact that a very small percentage of the people own everything. They own all the resources. They own your water. They own the oil. They own the minerals. They own your food. They own your Twinkies. They own your grocery store. They own your small electronics companies. They own everything. They are the problem. Everything else is a wizard's errand. Everything else. Focus on the real problem, or you're not going to solve real problems. You're not going to solve anything. All you're going to do is just keep running errands for the wizard. And the wizard's going to keep giving you new errands and new errands and new errands and new errands. So to answer his question, yeah, do nothing. Do nothing. Do nothing. Remove the curtain. Tell people there's a wizard behind that curtain. That's what you do. I mean, there are a couple other things you can do, but step 1 is be honest about the real world. The holograms are not real. There's no such thing as Democrats and Republicans. There's no such thing as a President Donald Trump. There's no such thing as a President Barack Obama, because at the end of the day, they all do the same thing. Why? Because it's easy and it makes perfectly good sense. Follow the money. If people are divided and hate each other more than they hate the system, then the government doesn't actually have to fix it. So I got in trouble for that. I called all kind of names and stuff. People I love, it's okay. Because I understand. I try to understand where people are coming from. And it's an emotional thing. It's a hard thing. If you build your whole lifestyle on Oz, you build your whole lifestyle in these fake struggles. I call them fuggles. Because they're not real struggles. But you build this whole architect of a lifestyle on fighting things that aren't real in a system that's not real. You'll fail all the time. So yeah, do nothing. But I do want to address one thing. One thing, I think I probably said this before. I'm going to clarify. Thank you, Mom. No, so it was my birthday last week, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks. I don't know. I don't keep track of that. is the person said, and it's a good person, good person. We don't attack. Everybody's good people. Everybody's good people. Said, aren't you concerned as a black man for your kids? And I mean, I have to address this one. I have to address this one. Donald Trump has absolutely nothing to do with my children. Neither did Barack Obama. They don't have controls of anything significant to control anything that happens in the space of my family or my kids or even this country without getting approval. Okay? The oligarchy is the problem. It doesn't matter who you put in office. They put somebody emotional and charismatic in office to piss you off so you won't do anything to change this system. As a black man, don't you feel you got to fight the racism? No, actually, I don't. I don't. It's not a problem. People don't have to like me. I don't care if you like that. Literally, I'm an adult. I'm a grown man. I got on grown man pants. It's okay not to like me. It's okay not to like my skin. You don't have to like my eye color. You don't have to like my teeth. You don't have to like the shirts I wear. You don't have to like the car I drive. You don't have to like my philosophies. You don't have to like me. That was back in daycare where, everybody liked me. No. Besides that, am I a black man? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. You know why? Because you know where that name came from? Where did black come from? It is a slave designation. That's exactly what that is. So no, I'm not designated by slavery. We need to get past that. We need to grow out of this. It is, what is that? It's a designation. You let people designate you and people say, oh, well, people of color now. Nah, you're a person of color. That's you. You got them labels. My kids ain't designated by that. But like, think about the psychology of it. Why would somebody want to designate you in any sort of way? It's basically to say that you're one of us. You're one of us. You are on our plantation. You're on our team. We own you. You are with us. Come on with us and let's fight for a leader. Let's fight for the leaders of our movement. Let's fight. And I have no interest in that at all. I don't have any interest in the master owning me or you owning me. I have no interest in your struggle or your struggle because it's all holograms. It's all holograms. We are one human race. Where did my people come from? My people. Who are my people? My people, I guess they hailed from Nigeria, before America, before that, Britain, Ireland, Cherokee, one other place, some island out there, Papua New Guinea or something like that. It's way out there. And they were my different ancestors that walked different ways, getting played by different wizards, different leaders, leading them into struggles against each other. Why? Power and money. Same reason they'll call you a person of color, because you have some elites above you who call themselves people of color, and they want to control your resource. They want to own you as a laborer. They want to know they can count on you to join in their struggle so they can be supreme. I have no interest in that. I'm a sovereign. You don't get to designate me. You don't know me. You don't own me. So anyways, I had to kind of address that a little bit. I try to be nice when people say stuff like that. To me, it's offensive. It's offensive. It's offensive when you start giving me designations. You don't even know what I am. I don't know what I am. Why would I let you designate me or my children? I don't care if you do it out because you think you're friendly. You think that we got something to work together on and put some support. I gotta show y'all something. Let me show you something. Who posted? I think Ty posted this. That was deep. It was just it was deep. Is what I want to talk about? I don't know what I want to talk about. I won't go into it. I just spent too much time on that. I don't have time to play with people. No, you can't rely on me. No, you can't. Black elite, white elite, constitutional elite, Democrat elite, Republican elite. You cannot rely on me. I'm not reliable when it comes to you wanting to be supreme and control other people. You can't count on me. Don't count on my vote. Don't count on my support. Because the minute I see that you're corrupt, I'm walking away. The minute I see that you're violating somebody else's rights, no matter what other group they're in, I'm a citizen of the world. And that's not globalism. I'm just a citizen of the world. So no, I have no interest in your barcode. You want to barcode your children so some other people can control them that you don't know, but you like them because they got your fur color, your skin color or something. That's up to you. That's your intellectual level. That's where you want to be. That's not where I'm at. Not where I'm at at all. We got a problem on this planet. It's a problem with false conflicts, getting people on teams to fight and struggle against each other so they can be supreme over one another. And I'm confident enough. I don't need to control anyone. I don't want anyone to dominate. I don't want to dominate at anything. Just leave people alone. Trust people. That's where I'm at. So step one for me, let me get this. It doesn't matter who the president is. It doesn't matter at all who the president is. It does not matter at all in the grand scheme of anything. They convince you that. The wizards give you the hologram and they sent you on that mission and you just believe in the people who actually control all sides of everything. Step one is remove the curtain. That's step one. Step one, stop believing in a hologram. Step one, stop believing in Oz. Step one, stop being naive. Stop being Dorothy. Step one is pull back the veil so we can have an intellectual discussion about real problems, not errands that these Democrat wizards send people out on. These tasks to fight racism, fight anti-Semitism, fight other poor people that are unpopular at the time for whatever reason. Step one is pull back the veil so we can have a root level discussion of the real problems. Follow the money. It's always an economic problem. And the ones who print the money, the ones who got all the control and resources, they're the ones who send you out on these false errands. All right, pierce the veil. Yes, somebody said, Stacy said, pierce the veil. That's step one. Don't worry where the chips fall. Like it's a belief in honesty. It's a belief in integrity. It's a belief in transparency. Like, let's know the truth of everything. And don't worry about where the chips fall. Don't worry about where well, my group might get left behind. Well, maybe you shouldn't be in a group. Right. Let's talk about that from an honest perspective. You know, people don't want to pierce the veil. They don't want to pull back the curtain and show everybody the wizard because they want to be the wizard. That's what it really comes down to. They want to be the wizard behind there pulling the strings. They want to be the ones who are supreme. They want to be the ones with all the privilege. We need to exit from this model of having control over one another. All right, so anyway. So I got let's look at things. I'm just like, man, we not gonna make it. If this is the skill level that we're at, this is the intellectual level, but just there's a man behind the curtain. Don't believe this show. Don't believe this show. So I looked at the news. There are actually a lot of good, interesting things in the news. How's everybody doing this morning? Stop trying to control where the chips fall. The chips will fall exactly where they're supposed to. Because at the base level, human beings, we're all the same. We're all the same. We want to be left alone. We want freedoms. We want to go live our own lives. We want to do those things. And we're only going to get there if we stop trying to control each other. Mary said, follow the money. That's it. And Mary, maybe you can explain to me. Everybody understands that. Everybody agrees with that. And they say, follow the money. Follow the money. I think it came out of the insurance industry. Follow the money. But then they go out and turn on the TV and they jump in the emotion. That's what I don't understand. They follow the money, but they turn on the TV and they give them something emotional. And they don't realize that the wizard owns the TV. The wizard is the one that owns all the networks. The wizard is the one that controls your emotions through the television that have you hating Donald Trump or loving Donald Trump or thinking that you can fix a system with the same system that created the system to keep you oppressed. You can't fix the system with that system. It's designed to work that way. So anyway, follow the money. Stay focused. Leave your emotions at home. You got to play adult for a little while. All right, let me see. Pierce the veil. Live and let live. That's it, Christine. You know, because it's a narcissistic belief system that you can designate somebody a race. It's a narcissistic belief system. You can designate somebody a religion and get them to come along with you and tell them who their enemy is and tell them what to do. Give them a fake struggle. And narcissism exit, y'all. Narcissism exit. Actually, I made a new friend this morning. Hold on, she posted. I was like, not when you make a friend and they have I guess it's a tagline or something on their profile. I was laughing this morning. She had a tagline. Who said this? I guess Abraham Hicks. He said, the hokey pokey really is what it's all about. I remember the hokey pokey. Anybody remember the hokey? We used to do the hokey pokey in middle school. No, not middle school. It was daycare. You know, I can't even sing it no more. How's it go? Do the hokey pokey, cause that's what it's all about. You put your left foot in, you put your left politics in, you put your right politics in, you put your something in, and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey, and they turn you all around. And that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. They get you off on these hokey pokey wizard errands. And it's just the hokey pokey. I can't sing it. I probably miss every single note. I was dying when I saw that, because that's the fantasy world we live in. It's the hokey pokey, and they ignore it. They keep turning you around. That's it. And then you do it again, and you play the hokey pokey next generation. You give them their relation, your race, your religion, your national, whatever you give them, and then they turn them around. The same thing. They just keep turning you. Can't turn around. Keep turning around. It's like, no, stop turning around. Stop. We need to free these kids. We need to end this. Anyway, so the last end of that post, I try to keep my responses quick best I can. I just say, listen, unfortunately, the American military-industrial complex is a kill machine. We need to end the kill machine. That's it. End the kill machine. It's been bought, paid for, and purchased by people who don't even live in the country, and they're murdering other people for their resources, giving up more power. That's it. All right. Do the hokey pokey. All right, y'all saying hokey pokey. Let me see. The bread and circuses and dogma. Control the people, and that's it, Mary. At the default, at the base root, it's just to control the people. You gotta cut the shackles. Cut the shackles off. Go be free. Stop being driven by holograms and wizards. And that's just simply it. I want to go over to the news. There were a couple interesting things in the news. Let me see. Get your strength back. Get your sovereignty back. Learn how to take care of yourself. Stop trusting these wizards. There were a couple interesting things in it. I'm going straight to UFOs though, because that's me. I'm just going straight to UFOs. I go straight to UFOs because to me that's a major curtain. It's a major curtain. People realize they're not alone in the universe. They can stop acting like they're alone in the universe. People realize that the most powerful thing on this planet is not the United States president, and ain't no prime ministers anywhere. It's things that we know very little about. So I think the Navy, the Navy now has an official program for identifying.
If you're selling your home, check out UpNest.
What's not really
a free
there.
service that lets you find a great agent and save big.
I read about it online.
Nope, sorry. Homes don't have them. I'm sorry. Home, you got a big home, get rid of it. You got an unsustainable house, get rid of it. I'm not interested. I mean, sell your house, yeah, but then take that money and figure out how to live more sustainable on that money. Bad times are coming. Bad times are coming. They're always coming. I know I sound like your grandparents, but they're right. They're right because their parents handed down to them, their parents handed down to them, and their parents handed down to them. The elders always said bad times are always coming. Why are bad times always coming? Because they've always came in the past. Have a pantry, be prepared, plant some seeds, get ready. It's about to get rocky. They don't come that often anymore because we have a whole lot like the elites that run everything, and the wizard realize that we're better labor when the bad times aren't here, but they're not smart enough to keep the bad times from coming. So the depression, recession, whatever you want to call it, the bad times are coming. Get strong, prepare yourself. You need to get rid of that big unsustainable house. You need to find you a tiny house. You need to find you an energy efficient house. You need to get you some solar panels. You need to get you some wind vanes. These people are not crazy who are doing this. There are people who survive these things and people who do not. And it's all based in trusting this wizard. All right, can you see this? Let me see. News with Rick Sanchez. I'm all excited. Yeah, we get to talk about UFOs.
The U.S. Navy is preparing new guidelines for pilots on how to report sightings of UFOs. Now, there will be a formal process to collect and analyze the unexplained sightings. RT's Trinity Chavez reports.
A recent uptick of strange sightings of unauthorized aircraft over the military's airspace has prompted the Navy to draft formal procedures for pilots and other personnel to document these encounters, a move that many believe is long overdue.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA.
According to reports, these kind of intrusions have been happening on a regular basis since 2014, and recently there have been several reported cases on unidentified aircrafts entering military-designated airspace, entering various military-controlled ranges, and designated airspace in recent years. For safety and security concerns, the Navy and the U.S. Air Force takes these reports very seriously and investigates each and every report.
All right, let me clarify something. All right, first of all, this has not been happening since 2004. This is for the people who aren't paying attention, the people who are alone in the universe, the people who are just in their own little self-important human species mind screw. I used to be there. I ain't there no more. This has been happening since the beginning of time. This is where all the religions came from. We had creatures that came here and they were like, love each other, grow some food, here's some seeds, here's some cannabis, go learn, don't kill each other, don't hurt each other, don't learn how to get along, you're gonna get wiped out. That's it, and they flew away. We made religions out of that. That's the end of that. So it's been happening since the beginning. But why are they saying it now? Why are they talking about it now? Being the skeptic that I am, because I'm always skeptical of this nonsense. There's only, I look at what was the Project Blue Beam or something like that, where they're going to stage an alien invasion, something like that. The only reason I think they're talking about this stuff that's so obvious now, at a certain point in time, you have so many pilots that see these craft. And a lot of the craft are theirs. Right? I think a lot of the secret stealth fighters, the electromagnetic devices are theirs. And so they want to start people, the wizard wants to start getting people to think about this as a reality. It's not fantasy anymore. It was fantasy when they didn't control it. It was fantasy when they couldn't do anything with it. It was fantasy when they couldn't make any money on it. It was fantasy when they couldn't scare people. But now there's profit in it. Follow the money. Now it's profit in making people scared. Why? Because you control most of those ships that are flying around up there. And not aliens, most of those ships are United States Space Force, Britain Space Force, Russian Space Force, and the pilots are seeing them. Why? Because they're flying sorties all the time. And the pilots who aren't in the loop, you know, they need to bring about the credibility. These are alien craft. And I don't think that they are. I just think that there's profit in them talking about that. It's starting to reveal a little bit of the real world to the minions that they have, that they're farming on the planet. So that's what I think. That's what I think. I'm a skeptic. I don't think your government wants you to know what's going on. I mean, how does it profit the wizard to tell you the truth? There's no profit in the wizard telling you the truth. The only profit for the wizard is telling you enough to control you, and that's all it is. But I like it because it's always a great thing I can talk about.
While some pilots claim they have seen small spherical objects flying in formation, and others have said they've seen tic-tac-shaped vehicles, many have hesitated to report it because of the adverse effect it could have on their careers. And when they did report it, there was little done to investigate their claim. Chris Mellon, a former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Intelligence and staffer on the Senate Intelligence Committee, told the Washington Post, "Imagine you see highly advanced vehicles. They appear on radar systems. They look bizarre. No one knows where they're from."
That's a lie. They know exactly where they're from. Somebody said something. Hang on. Somebody said something. Key that on. The end is nigh. And I think that could be an interesting fact. Are UFO sightings up? Maybe. You know, well, these creatures, maybe they're having field trips. We're going to Earth because Earth is about to go through a pole flip again. We're going to watch all the humans get washed away. We're going to watch the civilization be destroyed. We're going to document it. We're going to help whoever's left. Possibly. You know, end could be nigh. They say in World War I and World War II, you had the Foo Fighters, and this is when the non-U.S. Space Force UFOs come around because they're curious and like watching us. That could be humans from the future coming back. I don't know anything about that. I just know that this is interesting to me. People need to focus on the real world is not this. The real world is not jet-powered airplanes. The real world is not oil, fossil fuel-driven cars. The real world is always so much further beyond this, right? We know that we don't have to destroy this planet with fossil fuels and plastic. If it's aliens, a Space Force, a British Force, a Russian Force, whatever it is in space, they got these technologies or something else does. We need to focus on that. Stacy says it's just a game. That's the thing. It's just a game. It's always a game. They're always moving pieces and parts and giving cards. You roll the dice to give you this card. You go on that side. They're always being played, which is why I say that step one is no more secrets. No more secrets. So no government can have secrets. No corporations can have secrets. Why? Because they're the ones who murder us. And us as human race. That's step one. Angels are aliens as well. Joshua, I think so. Angels and demons are real. It's just people back then, they didn't know how to process it. And if you're like a religious cat, it doesn't take away from your belief systems. Like if these alien things were genetic engineers, creators of life, and that you know, that's fine. Like, I don't think that changes your belief systems at all. It's just a reality of back then people wrote down what they saw. And those things gave us warnings. Those things gave us revelations. Those things said you need to love each other because the end times are coming. And then we have geology and that show us that the end times are always coming. That this planet's unstable. Comets always land. Volcanoes blow up. We don't work together and take care of each other and love each other. Give your brother the shirt off your back. Take care of your sister. Things like that. Work together. If you don't do that, you're going to die. And I think that became a religion in time. And I don't think that takes away anything from like the core of what religion is, right? Not the nonsense that people put on top of it. Not the dogma, but the core. Let me see. Angels are aliens to these people. Right, and exactly. Let me see. Expect to have some weird dreams. And Stacey, and that could be true. I think there are people who are in tune with this type of stuff. I've never seen a UFO. I don't think I have. I've seen an alien. They say they look just like us walking around, so I wouldn't know anything about that. Marriage is a distraction. Everything's a distraction. Everything. Everything. This is why I'll jump into it. It's delicious. I like it, but I stay focused on the fact that they only put this stuff on the news to keep me going the way I need to. Like, these are carrots. Like, they're always moving us around with carrots. Everything in the news, whether it's Donald Trump this, hate this, love that, you know, the important things are the things that aren't in the news. Those are the important things. Everything in the news is a distraction, or it's a carrot, or it's like blinders to keep us walking in a certain direction. I'll say I have many friends. Paranormal activity has increased. Please excuse my friends. With Joshua, I did a post a little while ago. Oh my goodness, you'd have to go down to find it. But I asked people, you know, what were there? Has anyone had any sort of? One of my friends can tell you how I pose a question. Has anyone had any experiences that made them question the reality that we seem to live in? That post went on for hundreds of posts. People seeing this, that, the other. They flipped this, they flew here, they had astral projection, NDE experiences, they seen ghosts, they seen UFOs. It was deep, it was crazy. I don't think I've ever had a post where I read every single comment. I read every single comment. You remind me, I need to go back and see it. But this is why a worldwide conversation is needed. Because we have the data, when we pierce the veil, when we break apart these curtains and we look at the real ugly world that most adults are scared of, so they hide under the blanket, then we can make good decisions about where we need to go. And I think quantum physics opened that up for a lot of people. You know, it finally, I call quantum physics the science and the understanding of we just don't understand. We don't. We think we know, we really don't. Stacey's talking about the Foo Fighters. Let's see, they've been stripping all weekend here in the Bay Area. I've been hiding inside. What's been stripping all what? UFOs? 2 weeks of fog in the forecast after 80 to 90 degrees. Folks are gonna get sick. I'm talking about chemtrails. Yeah, that's the thing. Good morning. Hey, Teresa. And you see, real world is what it is, and the point it is necessary. It's only being done to enslave the human race. Well, right, John. We're a slave planet. Right? We're a slave planet. We have a slave mentality. We're slave minded, and we're actually proud to be slaves. Which is kind of the weird, sick thing, John. Like, I think there's something about us that predisposes us to want to be led, to have owners and leaders. And this is why I don't do this whole black man, white man, it's nonsense, right? They just want to get you in a team so somebody can control you. And you're happier to have someone who looks like you control you. And this is crazy. But there's something that predisposes human beings. I think they feel safer. I think you feel safer if you're surrounded by other people, you're in a tribe or a team or something. And I try to encourage people, just be independent, just be yourself, be you. You know, you don't have to team up with these people who are trying to beat some other people. Let love and let love. And that's it, Mary. Love will solve everything. So I said, pierce the veil, let the chips fall where they may, and pull back the curtains, let the truth be revealed, and let everybody make their own decisions up. Like, don't decide other people, force them to be like you or think like you, whatever. Let them see the information. Let's let them see the real world, and they can decide what they want to do.
This happens on a reoccurring basis, and no one does anything. Pilots are upset, and they're trying to help wake up a slumbering system. While the process of reporting efficiently is in the drafting phases, the program would allow officials to investigate each report. Now, the Defense Department has acknowledged there used to be a secret program that looked into such sightings, but was shut down in 2012 because of lack of funding. Reporting in New York, Trinity Chavez, RT.
I mean, that's my take on that. I mean, to me, it's real simple. It's just, you know, it is another thing. It's just it's a little peek behind the curtain that is real. It's a peek behind the curtain that they give us. It's, oh, well, they don't really look into it, but now they're starting to look into it. That's a lie. They've been looking into it from the very beginning. That's been the key to the military industrial complex, is understanding the technologies that came before us when the planet was destroyed and whatever the heck is flying around out there, whether it be Russian, alien, humans from the future, clones, robots, Dark Knight satellites. They've always been into that. Why? Because they need to kill and murder people and steal what they have. And it's easier to do that if you have high technology. So that was a great thing. Somebody, Brother John, talking about the Anunnaki. Are we slaves made by the Anunnaki? I don't know, John. I don't know. I you know what? I mean, the way my mind works is that I know that nobody knows. That's what for the most part, nobody really knows. I look at all the theories, and a lot of things seem plausible and they kind of make sense. Some things don't. But it does make sense that I think I watched the lecture once to kind of explain that was bred into us, that we were designed to be predisposed to wanting to be slaves, to wanting to have politicians, to wanting to have leaders, to wanting to have plantation owners and masters. And it kind of makes sense. I mean, if you want to make if you need to mine a planet, because that's how they figured it. They came here to mine the planet for gold. And if you want to do that, you can't have creatures that want to be independent, that want to be free, that want liberty and freedom and chase those things. You need to find a creature that's happy being enslaved and dominated, a creature that wants to be in groups and conflict with other groups and not be free. And that would be part of what's wrong with us. My only problem with, who is that, Zachariah Sitchin, who translated the Sumerian text. My only problem with that theory is I think it's mind you, I don't question what ancient people wrote. I just don't think that we ever understand fully what they wrote. We don't have full text, and I think that they're not sure of what they saw. If a technologically advanced species came here, why would they use humans as slave labor? That's the only thing I don't really understand. I mean, if we go to another planet, we need to mine something. We're not going to use humans. We're going to use robots. Right? We're going to use AI. We're going to use learning software. We're going to use things that won't revolt. We're going to make something, send it down there, and it's going to do all the mining. And so it doesn't make sense to me. And I'm not questioning it. What I'm saying is that to me, it's not as high on my plausibility scale, because if an ancient race or a race that's 1 billion years old from another planet came here, so I don't think they would even look at us as a concern. I don't see why they would need us for anything. If they can get here, they can use their own robots. Unless there's some sort of a psychological energy weird thing where they want worship and they get worship by making new genetic creatures, mixing them with monkeys or something like that. So I don't know. All lies. Could be Stacy. I don't know. That's why I don't fight those things. I don't debate them because I don't know. I like to stand on things I know and just leave things alone I don't, kind of put them on that plausibility scale. I don't know. But I do know most of us are broken. That's what I know. I know most humans are okay being controlled and led around on leashes by their governments and by their leaders and, by their groups, their races and religions and stuff like that. So most people are predisposed to not wanting to be sovereign and not wanting to rule and run their own lives. And so I don't know where that comes from. Good morning, Augustine. Good morning, Linda. Music's kind of loud. Okay, let me turn it down a little bit. I respond to stuff like that. Thank you for asking so nice, Linda. I respond. See, the funny thing is when you're nice to people, they respond. Brother Jimmy came in. Hang on, let me turn it down. Put it down right there. Tell me if that's better. People come and start yelling at you. You don't listen. I'm that way too. People come in, turn the music down. I can't hear nothing. No, I ain't turning my music down. I'm a siren. I do what I want to do. Pull up my own drawers, wipe my own butt. I do what I want. But when people ask you kindly, you can't say no. Come on, especially a man. Women ask you nicely. We fall right in. All they gotta do is ask nicely. We'll do it. With that, see, that's a great example right there. And this kind of fits on the message too, of not trying to control people. Right? Let people make their own minds up. Be nice to them. Like if you're in one of these fuggles, these little fake struggles, and you're all fighting other poor people over resources that none of us have, you kind of piss them off a little bit. You're out there fighting the white nationalists, and they're fighting you, and you're fighting white supremacy, and they're fighting you. You're fighting the brown people, they're fighting you. You're fighting immigrants, they're fighting you. You know, then you say things, you offend people. And when you start offending people, nobody wants to listen to you. They're not going to listen and follow anything you got to say because you're the enemy. That's like a part of the strategy. I mean, step one is pull the curtain back. Let's reveal what's true and what we really don't know about this planet and the world and the human race and societies and nations, monetary systems. But then be kind to people. Be kind to people so they can make up their own mind based on the data and based on their experiences, not based on what we want. And hopefully not based just because we're being arrogant, we're being narcissistic, and we're forcing them to do what we want them to be like us. And I think everybody's supposed to be different. I think everybody's supposed to be different. Human beings and the planet works best, when everybody's different. Embrace difference. And even the difference that doesn't like you. As long as it's not like hurting you, it's okay that people don't like you. Embrace everybody. There might be a reason. You need to brush your teeth. Maybe you didn't put on. Maybe you need to change your deodorant. Sometimes when people don't like you, you have changes to make. And this is in with the fake struggles too, because what they do is like the liberal universities now, they're like teaching like the hatred of white males. And so you're making very unlikable graduates, right? Because they're coming out and they're yelling and screaming these things. And it's very easy not to like people like that. It's very easy not to like positive racism. If that's such a thing. Reverse racism. But they teach these things and they make these people unlikable. And it feeds into the struggle. It feeds into the struggle of the poor fighting the poor, not fighting the system, right? And that's how you make it sustainable, is you make people unlikable. This is why Martin Luther King didn't play none of that mess. Martin Luther King didn't play none of that mess with y'all. He was a fair across the board. Once he figured out how the system worked, he stood up for everybody, and that's why they killed him. And Martin Luther King, he explained it very well. He explained to you that the only way you're going to change things, he used to study the philosophers as well as the scriptures. And he's explained the only way you're going to change the system is with numbers or money. So I always go back and I ask the people the question. They send me their 2020s and I say, do they have the numbers or do they have the money? And none of them have the numbers and none of them have the money. So they have absolutely nothing to say about modifying our oligarchy in any way that's good for citizens. And none of them will have, well, first of all, you don't have the money because they print the money. The trillionaires and the billionaires print the money. They're not going to print none for you to change their system. And the numbers you'll never get because the media works too well in getting people divided up in their little silly groups to fight each other. So none of the 2020s will have the number. And this is why presidents don't matter. Let me see. God is my only master. God is my only judge. They are not my judge nor my master. That's good, brother Joshua. And that's good. I mean, that's, where I stand on religion and gods is just, because I was raised in the church. As long as my God is for me, then there's nothing wrong. My God's not offensive, right? The only way gods are offensive is if we take our belief systems and we force other people to be like us. If we take that narcissistic approach that we're right, it automatically means somebody else is wrong. Right? And if somebody else is wrong, that means it's okay to fight them, it's okay to hurt them, it's okay to oppress them, it's okay to force them, it's okay to take their free will. It's okay to do all the things that those gods said that you're not supposed to be doing. That's the only problem I have with any sort of God thing is because I got my own beliefs. My beliefs modify and change and shift and do everything. But my belief system is for me. So I'm okay with everybody else's belief system. Apparently my RBF scares the S out of people. RBF. What is an RBF, Nora? I don't know what that is. I don't think demons are a religious entity per se, more spiritual. Okay, Megs, I don't know. I have no idea. I think demons are real though. That's the only thing I'll say. I think the spiritual energy, demonic thing is real because if you look around this world, I see what appears to be humans capable of doing immense amounts of damage and murder to other human beings. And every human being I know can't murder people. Every human being I know can't do what these people in Washington do and sleep at night. I don't know anyone who can murder people on accident. Not only humans that can do that. I think only dark energy, demons, whatever you want to call them, can do that. Let me see. I think I need some garlic. Stacy. Let me see. It's all well orchestrated seduction. It is, Nora, absolutely. Maureen put out, the deagle.com link. Oh yeah, 2025 forecasting massive USD population by 20 million people. I saw that, Maureen, and I watched the sisters live stream. What do I think about that? Well, I'm a bit of a skeptic on everything. And well, what was she talking about? You guys haven't looked at it. It goes back to the guidestones, right? They're in eugenics, and I think some of the projects, I don't know if it was the Rothschilds or Rockefellers were involved in, where they were trying to depopulate the human race. Well, there was a statistic that was put out on Eagle.com that kind of explained that they're expecting the population of America to be 100 million in 2025. And of course, there's speculation as to where that came from. What are they talking about? I don't know Deagle.com, and I don't know where they got it from. But as much as I'm a skeptic, I see more harm. And this is a good example. Thank you, Maureen. This is a good example. I see more harm in pretending it's false than allowing it to be true and find out the truth. Right? It's like I go back and I look at history. Has the king ever depopulated us? Absolutely. Absolutely. Why? Because when there's too many of us, it gets out of control. If you got a little mouse farm at your house, maybe better yet, let's do an ant farm. These little ant farms at your house. You had a little ant farm in your room, got your ants, feed your ants, got it. And the ants get out and they overpopulate and they start getting out of the cage. What's your mama gonna do? Your mama gonna say the ant farm has to go, or you need to reduce those ants. They're overpopulated, there's too many of them. So historically, have we ever been depopulated? Absolutely. Many, 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 many times. Kings use war, they use poison, they've taken farmlands, they've starved people, they've taxed them to death. They've done all types of things. Like there was a report that said the United States is the most stressed country in the world. They asked 150,000 people, and America's the most stressed country in the world. Outside of the fact that I think they're the most stressed because we probably stressed other people by dropping bombs on and killed them, and now America's the most stressed because
he reveals America may be in the grips of an epidemic, and one that could have potentially disastrous consequences for our productivity and health. And the numbers seem to paint it as a...
Have you ever heard of silent weapons for quiet wars? That was that CIA document that was released, and they were talking about how we're slowly being poisoned in all different types of ways.
Uniquely American problem. RT correspondent John Huddy has the story.
Are you feeling a little stressed out, maybe a bit worried? How about angry? Well, if so, you're not alone. A new Gallup poll finds that Americans are among the most stressed out people in the world. The Gallup 2019 Global Emotions Report was based on interviews with more than 150,000 people in 143 countries.
Right, it's fun to show that. I mean, it was a real study. Because there's numbers in the studies, and sometimes they play with this stuff, but it's real, and I believe it. Well, but part of it, I think that Americans are big babies. That's number one. We're big babies. But two, and so they whine about a lot. So, when answering a survey, I think a lot of Americans would whine about it because they want so much more. But they're being starved, right? It's like legislation. We're being depopulated by legislation. Look at the military-industrial complex. Look at the kids being starved into joining the military and going off and fighting in wars that have nothing to do with them. Look at the prison industrial complex. Look at the laws that both parties are writing. Part of why I say presidents don't matter. They're all writing laws taking your rights for big, massive corporations. We send them money. As I don't understand this, they send millionaires money to be politicians so the billionaires can buy them and take your rights. And I don't get that. So of course Americans are being stressed. It's called artificial scarcity. It's called planned obsolescence. They're being starved into stressful conditions where they'll commit suicide or whatever. So I think there's more harm. Like for me, things are like risk analysis, Maureen. They're risk analysis. I don't have any interest in saying, oh, Deagle.com is lying or they're making it up. It could be a total fake news thing. But how does it hurt to get people talking about, well, what technologies could they be using to do this? Why could they be predicting it? Is there something that we don't know about the pole shift? Have they seen an asteroid? Do they know it's going to hit in the ocean and kill 1/3 of the American population? Like, what do they know? Like, we live in a really crazy time where people find it's okay for their corporations and kings to have secrets. So I think in things like that, I don't deny them. I just say that, these are the reasons why our owners, our kings and lords cannot have secrets, because there's no way for us to know. And after it happens, whether it's 5G or whatever people say it is, it's already over and done. They can apologize. It could be the stage alien invasion. It could be anything. It's just, I'm not under any disillusions that my owners and the masters that run the plantation I was born on, that they love me and need me. They don't love me nor need me. I'm just a source of labor for them. That's it. You're indoctrinated so hard, extra crispy. Yes, Stacy, they do, because that's what they do for us. That's what they do to us. We need to stop watching the news stories and listen for signals. Absolutely. And look back at history. Look back at history is what they've always done. It seems like Bill and Melinda Gates are going to get their predicted pandemic. Yes, Maureen, but to do it a better way, because people, will look at like Bill and Melinda and will think that they're the evil, and they're not the evil. The evil is that our elites always do this. Our owners always do this because we got our popular owners. And if we like this set of owners over that owner, we like this president over that president, we always get enslaved by it. And you can take one out and another one replaces it. As long as the power structure is in place to allow this to happen, all these things are going to happen. And this was actually my point to the sister in the whole Donald Trump hate thing, replace Trump. It just doesn't matter to me. Because as long as the power exists, someone will abuse the power. We need to change a system that does not allow for power to be deployed over the citizens. That's it. As long as the power stays in place, and this is why, they want to replace Trump. I don't care. I think it's stupid. I think it's a waste of time and energy. There will always be someone who's going to abuse the power. Obama abused the power. Trump abuses the power. Bush abused the power. Clinton. As long as their power is there, somebody's going to pull that lever. We need to work on getting rid of the lever. Then we can whine and cry and complain about presidents and politicians at that point. Let me see. We won't fix our global problems until the darkness comes to the light. Be the light by living local, buying local, unplug from the rabid consumerism, living sustainable, inspire others to do the same. Yeah, and that's how we get out, Kevin. It's in the mirror. We have to be what we say we want our government to be. You want your government to get along, talk and work things out and act like an adult. I look at y'all like, are you? Are you getting along? Are you talking it out? Are you living sustainable? Are you living green? Are you living high on the hog or low on the hog? You want the fastest car you can get, you want the biggest house you can get, then so will your politicians and so will your government. And that's why we're in this world we're in, is because the government actually is replicating what people are doing. 100% correct. The system that gives people power over others must end. And that's it, Johnny. Actually, it's that simple. It's that simple. You have no right to have control over anybody else. See, Patricia asked me all night. She said the music's a little low. Music, all right, let's go with that. I don't know. That's too loud, man. I don't know. I'll do that here anyway. Watch the video I posted. Okay, Eileen, can you post it on here also? Because there are people who can't get to your Facebook. And I think, all my videos are public, so anyone who's watching can go back and click on that as well. Where do we take the mark of the beast? Right hand. What's in your right hand right now? Nothing, Stacy, ain't nothing about right. Just some calluses. I've been working this week, and that's it, some calluses and anything about right. I don't know, Stacy sometimes you say stuff a little deeper. You see, in addition, I've been visited before what I believe were dark spirits, demons. I was in the middle of school, and it was a very scary experience. I believe they're real, Max. I believe they're real. I don't think the ancients who talked about all of this stuff were making it up. I just think that they had no idea what they were saying. So let me go through the rest of the news here. And then, got a lot of noise in the background. Having some work being done. All right. Remind the chancellor one more thing. How do you go? So, I'm just going to show this to you while I go there. Colorado cash for bail. And here's the reason why I'm going through this. I'm going through this because I like to just point out the hypocrisy in it real quick, and I'm done. I like to point out the hypocrisy, whether it just is something interesting or it's just, whatever. It's always foreign news. I don't watch news in my country. News in my country makes me stupid. I never like. News in my country is designed to put me into one tribe to fight other poor people. That's why I'm watching. So Colorado cash for bail may make up jail. Bail bill make up jail time. This was all about that whole bail thing where they were using software to determine if somebody was going to skip bail or go for the actually show up at the trial. For me, it's not interesting. It's absolutely nothing. You shouldn't be putting people in prison for things that's free, right? The only thing someone should be captured, did something physically to hurt someone, violated someone. And probably 98% of the laws in the country are anyway, maybe more than that. They're just offending, you're offending corporations, you're offending someone's profit, you're not actually hurting somebody. So I don't get on the left or right on none of it because most of the laws shouldn't exist anyway, besides the fact you should be putting kids in prisons that don't even have frontal lobes. They don't have frontal lobes until they're 26. Tone deaf, arrogant Macron on the way out. Oh yeah, this had to do with the French, right? Macron said, Macron's prime security person said, oh, the French, in France, we're not giving Yemen any weapons to kill the Yemenis, and a whistleblower leaked the document, because I think whistleblowers are important, but NASA and space and UFOs and aliens and war, and Julian Assange and WikiLeaks, and just said, no, we actually, the Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates are actually using French weapons to kill people in Yemen. So Macron's on the way out, getting caught in line, because the leaders always lie to us. They always lie about that. Follow the money, not your emotions. Follow the money, not the things they say. Driver's license gives consent to police. Lionel was talking about that, and that's true. It gives them consent to draw your blood, whether you're conscious or unconscious. It's just how it works. We don't live in a free country, so that's that. Trump lauded by the NRA by leaving the UN arms agreement. That actually was pretty interesting. Kind of explained that actually means nothing. It's a distraction. It's just to get you outraged. We never were a part of the treaty to begin with. And besides, the danger of it is it walks us into, because treaties are higher than the Constitution. And I live in this land. I'm not big on the America nationalism train, but I live in this land with the Constitution and Bill of Rights, which is probably one of the closest things we got to being free. Anybody in modern times, right? So that's a good thing. But when you have treaties, it supersedes the Constitution. I'm not interested in superseding any of my neighbor's rights. Doesn't mean that they're a gun nut. It just means that it's my neighbor's right to have a gun. And before I argue about whether poor people should have guns, we need to have a discussion about whether the wealthy should have militaries. That's more important than any discussion on poor people and rifles or automatic or whatever or gun control. I don't care about that. Until you get your government to control its military, I'm not interested in you controlling poor people. That's why you had slavery. That's why you had things of that nature. Because when certain people have weapons and others don't, really bad things happen. So if we live on a planet and these weapons exist, all the poor people need to have them. And I'll add to that, this is why every little girl born in this planet that's a patriarchal society should have human ninjas and a military. So I'm not interested in gun control at all. 40,000 Venezuelans killed by U.S. sanctions on a report. So this had to do with and this is actually interesting. This was just the sanctions since Trump. It's the new sanctions. Now the old sanctions under Obama and Bush murdered a bunch of people too, tens of thousands. But 40,000 under the new sanctions. There's always the poorest people who died from the sanctions. This is why U.S. sanctions are never designed to help anything. They're not designed to control anything. They're actually designed to kill people, which is what they do. They hurt the poorest in that country, and these are our cousins that we're killing with sanctions. So I got issues with that. Cyber attack on Fort Bragg alarms residents. That was just silly. They turned the power off and staged the power. It just kind of fills in the narrative that America's vulnerable. We need to spend more money for defense. We need to know what you're doing. We need to find in the house. We need to do all these things. So, but in that. Sudan protesters demand self-rule over Bashar ouster, which is actually really good. You know, they're trying to get to self-rule. More nations are talking about self-rule. It's actually really important. The noise, they're doing some scraping and some paint. Don't worry, who's that? Don't worry about that. It's my black supremacy. I have some people who have lighter skin than I out actually painting the house. So, you know, this is why I don't play these games. You know, it is what it is. Skin color doesn't matter. So, you know, it was interesting. They were kind of explaining how Sudan is being used as the military force for Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, that the Saudis don't actually want to go do their own fight. They want to get the poor people to stand to go fight for them. So they had Sudanese government, the sellouts are taking money from Saudi and America and all the Western countries to actually be the dumb foot soldiers to go fight in these ridiculous wars. And they were just explaining they want sovereignty. So basically, Saudi Arabia uses them the same way the Pentagon, the federal government, or the central banks that own them use the United States military. For a military family, I'm not interested in our boys being pimped out. Your voice is reverberating a lot. Okay, I don't know why, David. Maybe we got over to the military because they don't really like that one too much. I don't know. Privacy concerns are 10 years too late. That was a Lionel talk. Yeah, there is no privacy. So if you think you got privacy, hang it up. You know, people need to come to the real world. The real world isn't that you have rights to privacy. You have an oligarchy, and your oligarchy is okay murdering you. They don't care about your stress. They don't care about your fears and you sleep in at night, and they don't care about you being poisoned. They don't care anything. All they want to do is stay in power. They can't stay in power with 240 million and 300 million people. They'll stay in power with 100 million. It's a lot easier to have 100 million people. All right. That's everything. We'll read some comments on that, and I'm going to get out of here. If anyone got anything to say, I actually have a hard stop. Once again, I've blown over my time. But that's what I do. 325 million and 100 million Americans by 2015 or 2025, according to Deagle.com. How are they going to kill 2/3 of us? 5G? Question mark. Well, Patricia, it doesn't matter. To me, it doesn't matter, right? They're trying to. If they're predicting that we're going to lose this many people, there needs to be an investigation. Where's the Mueller for that? Where's the Mueller report for that? Where's the Mueller investigation? Where's the special investigator to investigate where those numbers came from? Never gonna exist. Never gonna exist. Because we're not actually in control. They are. And they'll get people chasing Trump's penis all day long. They're doing that for 3 damn years. Where his penis was with this hooker or whatever, some other dumb stuff like they did with Clinton. So we can't talk about anything important. I want to know if that report is fake news or not. We can't talk about the studies in 5G because do I think our government would kill us? Sure, why not? You know, genocide is a thing. It's a study of governments that actually kill their people, and no one has a kill machine like America. So, you know, would they kill us? Sure. They're psychopaths. I mean, they murder kids in Yemen wholesale, in Africa and all over the world. I don't think they blink twice at killing their own citizens. I don't live in the fantasy world. Like, I don't live in this Oz world where politicians are nice, sweet, loving people. No, they're killers. They want power and money, and for fear of lack of not having, they'll do everything everybody else does. Let me see. Yeah, all right, I'm about to get out of here. Do the website. Okay, y'all hear a lot of noise, huh? I didn't know it was that loud. Let me see. I'm about to get out of here. I got to get going. Must be the munchkins. The munchkins. We represent the lollipop kids, the lollipop kids, the lollipop kids. I was watching that. I was catching up on my Wizard of Oz. I try to understand people, and folks are kind of lost in this Wizard of Oz thing. So I was kind of singing that. Actually, I was looking for a good acoustic. How's that song? We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. All right, anyway, I gotta get out of here. Listen, y'all have a great day. This is Gerard. I am out of here. Sorry for all the noise. I will catch up to you folks at a later time. Love y'all now. Be good to each other. Reveal the truth.